Why would anyone build a car this extreme, this loud, this irrational, in a world that's turning quiet, electric, and efficient? This is the Lamborghini Aventador, and today, you're going to find out why it's more than simply a supercar. It's a rebellion on wheels. It shouldn't exist by 2025. The 2025 Lamborghini Aventador is a fiery farewell to the V12 era. No silence, no compromises, just raw energy encased in carbon fiber. This is what cars are moving away from. Yet here it is, still standing, yelling, and demanding attention. This is not just another review. This is a hands-on encounter with one of the strangest machines ever created. And at the very end of this video, you'll understand why people pay hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to be a part of this craziness. Let's go. The design. From the moment it enters your eyes, the 2025 Lamborghini Aventador captures your attention. The body seems to have been fashioned with a samurai sword rather than a clay model. It is crisper than ever. Even while it is standing still, each line seems to be slashing through the air. Lamborghini did not tone it down for the future. Instead, they pushed it to its limits. Up front, the Y-shaped headlights carve into the face like glowing blades. The gigantic air intakes resemble gaping teeth, eager to swallow anything in their path. The aerodynamic contour on the sides has been purposefully designed. The car's posture hugs the ground, indicating that it is obsessed with speed rather than merely constructed for it. Then there's the rear end, with its broad tail, active spoiler, and exhaust tips that resemble jet engine afterburners. Fire does not simply come out. It bursts with each throttle squeeze. Even the taillights are shaped like battle markings, crisp and forceful. And of course, the scissor doors. They don't just open, they lift like wings. They are not subtle, and that is the idea. They say the Aventador is not attempting to blend in. It's here to leave an impression. This design doesn't follow the rules of design. It writes its own. It is not attempting to be practical or nice. It's a dynamic sculpture depicting aggressiveness, confidence, and power. And honestly, nothing on the road looks this bad. Performance, engine, and sound. This is where things get crazy. The Aventador is powered by a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine that revs to over 8,500 RPM. No turbocharger, no electric motors, only raw combustion. That is not just rare, but practically extinct in 2025. Lamborghini made a decision. If this is the last V12, it will go out with a bang. The stats speak for themselves. 780 horsepower. From 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. And a peak speed of 221 miles per hour. This is not a supercar. This is a rocket in a fitted suit. But it's not just about speed. The sound is what grips your chest and refuses to let go. When it starts up, it snarls like a caged beast. When you hit the gas, it screams as if it is being pursued by lightning. You do not hear it. You can feel it in your bones. Even while idle, the Aventador's exhaust rattles windows and provokes eyebrows. At full speed, it has the potential to wake up a whole city. This is not simply noise. It is a signal. A last beautiful roar before the industry goes silent. When you floor it, the car leaps forward as if it were thrown from a catapult. The acceleration is so tremendous that time seems to be imploding. Everything else on the road becomes a haze. It is not nice. It is not gentle. It's the car version of a supernova. This car's engine is more than simply a piece of technology. It's like a pulse, a last homage to raw, undiluted force. And it's stunning. Driving experience. Once you take the wheel, everything changes. The Aventador doesn't drive like a car. Instead, it fights like a beast that requires full focused attention. You do not sit in it. You strap in like you're about to launch. At low speeds, it is firm. It grumbles over bumps and moans in traffic. But when you put it on the open road or a track, it wakes up as if it's been freed from shackles. Suddenly, the steering sharpens, the grip tightens, and the whole vehicle becomes a weapon. The throttle reaction is swift. There is no delay, just sheer power. When you tap the paddle, the gearbox makes a loud metallic clang. Each change feels like a blow to the chest. This car begs to be pushed. And when you do, it rewards you with a connection that most automobiles have lost over the years. Around corners, it's shockingly precise. The four-wheel steering makes it seem smaller than it is, as if it were turning on a dime. The active suspension reads the road and makes adjustments in the middle of a bend. The vehicle grabs, bites, and rockets out of corners as if it were on rails. The whole experience is physical. You're spinning the wheel, battling G-forces, and attempting to keep up with something that seems like it belongs on another planet. Every time you brake, your heart skips. Each time you speed, your brain resets. It is not comfy. It is not soft. It's brutal. However, it is the kind of violence that reminds you of what true driving used to be like. In an age of smooth EVs and silent rides, that matters. Interior and tech. When you step inside, the Aventador does not attempt to pamper you. Instead, it throws you into a cockpit designed for one purpose: speed. You sit low on a seat covered in Alcantara and carbon fiber. It seems like you're wearing the car rather than simply riding in it. The digital display directly in front of you changes depending on your mode. Strata keeps things clean. Sport increases hostility. Corsa? That one makes everything crimson, nasty, and ready for battle. Every gauge illuminates like a warning system. It's not here to impress, but to keep you focused. The switches on the central console resemble those seen in fighter jets. Flip the red cap, push the start button, and the car erupts into life. Every button, every control, mechanical, deliberate, and tactile. You aren't simply turning stuff on, you are activating systems. For the first time, the Aventador receives an infotainment system that does not feel 5 years old. It's quick, intuitive, and truly useful. You have wireless CarPlay, real navigation, and a backup camera that does not seem like it was recorded by a potato. Safety and reliability. Now let's address what most people don't talk about when reviewing cars like this. Can you trust it? The Aventador does not pretend to be an everyday driver. It's loud, it runs hot, it sips gasoline like a fire hydrant. However, Lamborghini has learned a lot about dependability over the years. The 2025 model takes these lessons seriously. The chassis was strengthened. The drivetrain has been put through rigorous testing. And, despite its radical nature, the V12 is precisely built. If you take care of it as it should be, and let's be honest, if you can afford this, you can afford the upkeep, it will look after you. Safety? It has everything a modern supercar needs. Advanced traction systems, stability control, and adaptive suspension. The enormous carbon ceramic brakes are capable of stopping a storm. You're not simply moving quickly, you're doing so with mechanisms continually working behind the scenes to keep you rooted. There's also a radar system for front collision alarms and emergency braking, which were previously unheard of in such aggressive vehicles. It won't drive itself, but it will assist you in avoiding disaster if you make a mistake. Just don't expect it to babysit you. This car believes you understand what you're doing. It's designed to perform, not to forgive. But this is what makes it intriguing. When you pull it out, you know you're in something genuine, something that commands your respect. The 2025 Lamborghini Aventador is not aiming to impress everyone. It does not care about blending in. It's loud, forceful, old school, and unrelenting. That is precisely why it counts. This is a battle cry in a world that is becoming more silent. A machine designed for those who still think that driving should be felt rather than done. This automobile is not the future. It is the last word of a dying age. Lamborghini made sure that it finished strong. If you're thinking, that's the craziest car I've ever seen, you're not mistaken. This is the definition of maximum. This is the kind of vehicle that will be remembered long after it is no longer there. So, if you love machines that break the rules, hit that like button. Subscribe for more full throttle reviews like this. And please let me know in the comments if this is the greatest V12 ever made, or whether something more crazier is on the way. Thank you for watching. I will see you at the next one with something as insane,